Hey Taurus, welcome to my channel. This is Venus Baby Tarot, and I'm here to give you your message on what unexpected blessings, gifts from the universe are coming your way, okay? What you're going to be gaining in your life in the upcoming weeks. And the reason why I decided to do this was because the eclipse reading that I just did for you was kind of heavy. So I took a little break for a few days because it was very heavy energy for me as a Libra moon, and because it was at the exact degree of my Libra moon. And so I was like, okay, I need a couple of days off. And so I'm back and I want to give you an uplifting message. So I went ahead and pulled your oracle cards here because I want to save time. So actually a lot of them came out. So I wasn't expecting to get so many of each type of card, but I wanted, so we're just going to see how we're going to do this, like how we're going to fit all of these over here. Okay, so I'm going to pause the camera to straighten them up and I'll come right back. Okay, I'm back. So, wow. There's so much here. There's like so much going on here. So you have the cicada, Panacea, I think is her name, the scarab beetle, lotus, planetary cycles, cleansing, beginnings, north node, Capricorn, cardinal, wisdom, seasons, community. Wow. Okay. So with the cicada, basically you are going to be shedding an old skin, your exoskeleton, right? And obviously I feel like this has to do with eclipse cycles, right? We are in a month where we had the south node new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and then on the 28th we have the north node full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, and that will wrap up the final eclipse of the 2-year cycle with the Taurus and Scorpio axis, which obviously affected Taurus and Scorpio the most. But because you have the north node here, right, it's like you are destined to have, it says destined to have, you are destined to move into, right? And you're destined to move into new beginnings, a new version of self, hence the exoskeleton of the cicada, right? So it says personal change is on the horizon. Listen to cicadas for messages along the way. Now, I don't know if it's too cold for you to hear the song of a cicada. I know here in the summertime where I live, like they are always singing, but I don't know if they're out right now. But in any case, there's definitely a message. I also kind of noticed these swirls right here. So, I mean, I feel like it could feel, and I noticed here on the seasons, like sort of like things are swirling, like things are in a whirlwind, things are moving quickly, things could be confusing, but it's also a message of spirit. Like when you think of the Triskel, I think is what it's called. Isn't that a spiritual symbol? I'll have to look that up. So, it came to me, Triskel, even though this is not 3, it's 4. But there's 4 seasons, but like Triskel came to me, so I had to go look it up really fast. And it is a representation of eternity and the 3 aspects of the maiden, mother, and crone. Now, I feel like what that means here for you, and the reason why that seems to be significant, is because there's different like cycles, different seasons that you've gone through, and you are developing a new one. Okay. And that's kind of what I'm getting, because there's 4, like you're developing and like you've been through those cycles in your life, or just like the, like metaphorically speaking, if you haven't necessarily like gone through age cycles of those 3, like the maiden, mother, and crone, it could just be like metaphorically speaking, like you've gone through those types of cycles to reach wisdom, like you've become much wiser in your life, right? And now you're developing a new one. You're developing a new cycle. Okay, so let's go ahead and look more at that, because I mean, look, you have planetary cycles, seasons, cleansing, like all of this, like I'm telling you, like sort of like wrapping up new birth type of energy. Now, Panacea says, number 28, 24, 28, says, a healing elixir is contained within. Call on Panacea for wellness of body, mind, and spirit. The Scarab beetle, number 13, death and rebirth, right? The Scarab shares the power of healing, protection, and positive cycles. Again, with the new cycles in your life, right? 4, Lotus, let go of challenges. It's time to bloom. And that's what's happening, because like with the seasons, right? Like say with like winter, you know, that's sort of a time of going within and clearing, you know, clearing out the old. You know, we really do kind of process a lot like in the winter time, right? And we clear out the old, right? And then we are reborn in the spring. And so this obviously is not necessarily about the seasons that we're going through, like as a, you know, in the planet, so much as the seasons we're going through within ourselves. Okay. It's not so much about the external environment as it is about the internal environment. Okay. And, or the internal experience. And so you're going through these cycles within yourself that are very much, kickstarted, or triggered by the planetary cycles around us, i.e. the eclipse or the eclipses, but definitely the upcoming eclipse in Taurus. I mean, I'm really feeling like a kind of like coming out of winter into spring energy, right? And that's kind of what's happening internally in the personal, individual experience of Taurus, right? But also Taurus as a collective. Wow, that got really deep. But anyway, so because look, oh my gosh, and then the community card is right here. It's like, so the community of Taurus is cleansing, is shedding an exoskeleton, is being reborn as something new, right? And I feel like what you are being reborn as is sort of this person right here that I'm looking at, who is brave and has a pioneering spirit, you know, this cardinal type energy. Look at this new flame. Somebody who is ambitious and you may be a realist and take methodical steps, but I really looked more at the ambition, right? Somebody who is in a more positive mindset and who feels so much better mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, right? Like there's definitely like a huge vibrational shift that happens within you, Taurus. It actually feels like energetically, I'm feeling this. It feels really incredible. And I love that for you, because you are going to be on this destined path in your life, or you have already been set up on this destined path in the past couple of years, but now you're going to be seeing the fruition of it, right? You're going to be seeing the harvest of it all, right? And I'm just like, I just keep getting like death and rebirth energy over and over. Like the more that I look at these cards, like it's just endings and beginnings, death and rebirth over and over and over again. And, you know, you honestly may have released a lot. I mean, we're talking North Node and South Node, right? South Node is what you're destined to release. North Node is what you're destined to have. So you could have been releasing a lot over the past 2 years, but I feel like Spirit wants you to take a look at what you've gained. And that's why that was part of what this reading is about. Like, what have you gained? And so we're going to look more at what you are going to continue to gain. You've definitely gained a lot of wisdom. You've definitely gained a change in yourself. You've also gained a sense of community. You could feel much closer to your friends or your family or just new people in your life. And you were releasing old people, like people who, not necessarily like elderly, that's not what I mean, but like you were releasing people who were just no longer in alignment with your vibration. And yes, we outgrow people. It's a thing that we do. Like, it happens. We totally outgrow people, you know? And I feel like that's kind of what's been happening for you. You know, like you just realize that you're just in a different place. And that doesn't mean you can't love people where they are, but it's like, it's kind of like, what do you have to talk about? Like, you can be of service to those people, and you can be kind and loving and compassionate and understanding. But if you're not in the same or even a similar vibration, like, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of like, how do I explain it? So recently I was talking to an old friend, and, we had really bonded through a period of our lives where we were both going through really challenging things. And as I was like looking at this person, and I love this person just so much, so much, I realized that we were no longer bonding over those things anymore. And I was listening and hearing how that person was still very much in the same cycles. And I just chose to just love that person. And that's what I'm going to do, is just love that person. But in terms of like regular day-to-day contact, it's very difficult, because I feel like I'm sort of the person who's always uplifting that individual now. And I want reciprocal connections. And so I am still very involved in that person's life, but it's just different. It's just different than how it used to be. And I feel like that's a really good example of what I'm trying to convey to you here about cleansing and releasing. It doesn't necessarily mean slamming the door and like just shutting people out of your life. It just means that you realize that you've gone through a major season of change in transition in your life. You've shed the old you, so much so that you may find that you're not relating to people the same as you once did. And that's not an ego thing. That's not a like, oh, I'm so much better than this person. I don't think that at all. Like, I don't feel that about people. I don't feel like I'm better than people at all. Like, I genuinely look at their situations, and what they're going through and think, wow, like I totally get it. I've been there. I've totally been there. But the relatability isn't as strong as it used to be. And so, because I feel like a lot of times, like the spiritual community will portray, like outgrowing people as like, oh, I'm so much better than that person. Like, I've completely outgrown them. And yeah, I mean, we do outgrow people, but that doesn't have to be like a better than, less than kind of dynamic. Like, we don't have to look at it. Like, I feel like it's always so important to stay right sized, like, we're going to ebb and flow in our life, and there are going to be times where we're going to be in a lower vibration. We don't get into a higher vibration and stay there. We can get lower again. It totally can happen. And so don't go and burn bridges. Like, that's the way that I see it. Don't go burn bridges just because you're in a good place. Like, really, really think that through. But anyway, wow, I feel like I just went off on a tirade there, but I've feel like it's actually relevant, to be honest with you. So, okay, so let's see what unexpected blessings. Oh my gosh, the Magician card came out. Like, I mean, really, that's your unexpected blessing? Like, okay. Because that's kind of beautiful. Okay, I was checking to make sure you could see that card. That's actually kind of beautiful. So your unexpected blessing, Taurus, is that you are actually seeing manifestations coming true, which I did a video on that. But like, you're going to start seeing the seeds that you have planted in your life over the last 2 years, because it's underneath this North Node. The seeds that you have been planting are now coming to fruition. You are seeing the harvest of this. Like, and I feel like it has a lot to do with like healing that you've done, transforming that you've done, like changing the cycles, the seasons, that you've completed or that you've experienced, and they've just changed you. Like, it has a lot to do with that. It's almost like your manifestations didn't come true because you weren't quite prepared for them. Like, it's kind of like, say you have all the qualifications to be an engineer, right? You have all the qualifications to be an engineer, but you like don't really at the core of your being believe that you're good enough for it, right? And so say you're like on a track to, you're in school and you're so brilliant, right? But then you completely sabotage it because you have a lot of deep core issues within you that are unresolved that keep you from being able to fully embrace your talents and your gifts and your capabilities because you at the core of your being don't believe that you deserve it because you may have been raised in an environment that made you believe that you were a total piece of crap, right? And so you totally self-sabotage that. And even though it was the thing that you wanted so badly, it was something that you've manifested so much, you were unable to grasp and achieve and and hold on to it because of the deep core issues. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of like not really being prepared or ready or vibrationally ready. It's like you had the talents, the gifts, and the capabilities, but on a deep soul core level, right? You didn't believe that you deserved it, right? And that could be like just sort of an example of how maybe you manifested things into your life, or you've tried to manifest things, but they haven't fully come to fruition for you because there was some sort of emotional blockage or emotional response that you had to success, that inevitably pushed you to sabotaging or self-sabotaging or pulling your energy back or standing in your own way, so that you didn't actually receive this manifestation. But now there's all this like transition, all these like overcoming cycles in your life, like seasons changing, the wisdom that you've gained, and just becoming this new person that's more brave and I don't feel like Taurus lacks ambition, but you could feel a little more ambitious in your life now, where you feel like you are more in alignment with the things that you know you're destined to have, or more in alignment with the things that you've manifested, right? Because you've gone through these cycles of change in your life. You've cleared out a lot. You cleared out a lot of emotional baggage. You may have done a lot of emotional healing, a lot of energetic healing, and it has paved the way for these new beginnings in your life, these beginnings of the things that you have been manifesting, that you have been working towards, that you have been doing your magic on. And I just keep hearing no mud, no lotus, no mud, no lotus. It was kind of like, in order for you to receive this lotus, this manifestation, this gift that you're getting, you first had to address the mud, and what's in the mud for you, which I feel like had a lot to do with it could be deep, like soul, past life issues that you had to resolve, past life cycles that you had to resolve, past life karma. It could have had to do with like deep emotional wounds, energetic wounds that you had to resolve. But either way, there was really a huge clearing out that's happened for you, Taurus. And I feel like you went through sort of aging cycles, even though it's not like aging cycles like in your physical body, more as in your energetic body. And that's what brought you to this wisdom, because I just kept thinking of the Triskel again. And I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm saying panacea right either, but I'm doing my best here. But it's like you went through some like energetic aging cycles, maturity cycles, or like just past life cycles of lessons, right? That's what happens when we're aging anyway. We're learning, we're growing, we're evolving. We're physically aging, yes, but we're also obtaining a lot more wisdom and experience than we had when we were younger, right? But it's like you obtained a lot of wisdom in regards to aging cycles, but they seem to be expedited, even though your body, your physical body, wasn't aging as fast as your energetic body was. I hope that makes sense for you, because it makes sense to me, because I'm actually like, as a Taurus, I'm reflecting on the past couple of years in my life. And I remember saying to somebody last year, I remember saying, I feel like I have matured so much more in the last year of my life than I have in the entirety of my life. And I'm here for it. Like, I actually felt good about that. Like, there were so many things that I learned, and so many, and it could have had to do with Saturn. Even wasn't Saturn in Aquarius? Yeah, Saturn was in Aquarius. And Pluto was in Capricorn and then moved into Aquarius, and now it's back in Capricorn. But in any case, so it could have had a little bit to do with Saturn, squaring the nodes, squaring your sign, Taurus, like could have had a lot to do with that. But anyway, I feel like what I'm trying to say is, you're just energetically, your vibrational body is in a position now to be in alignment with this beginning in your life. Let's take a look at more. The 9 of Cups. Like, what? Okay, universe. Wow, it's just the right time, and that's it. Like, it's just that simple. Like, it's just the right time. Let's see what we got here. The 9 of Pentacles, universe. Like, this is oh my God, the Sun card. But we do have the 5 of Wands, the Devil, and the Knight of Cups. I wonder what the 5 of Wands and the Devil is about. I really wonder, because I'm getting a couple of different messages from that. Sorry, I'm covering my hands because I get eczema, but I use eczema lotion, so there's that. But okay, so back to what I was saying. So here we go again. We have the Devil and we have Capricorn. And I'm getting Plutonian energy, right? Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. And it's in Capricorn currently, and it'll be moving back into Aquarius soon. I don't have my other phone next to me. I would go look at the dates. I tend to really struggle to remember the dates unless I write them down and have them next to me. But anyway, we had Pluto retrograde in Capricorn recently. Like, it just went direct. And that's trine Taurus. Okay, so you could have just found that there have been some transformations in your life that not only had to do with Pluto, but also the North Node and the South Node. Okay, I'm going to leave the astrological energy out and just channel the tarot at this point. But anyway, so what I'm seeing here is with the 5 of Wands and the Devil card, and we're kind of skipping ahead here because I feel like this was the blockage. And the blockage may not be completely finished because of the progression of the cards. And you have to understand, we still have the Taurus full moon eclipse, and it's a North Node eclipse. So, I mean, it's a little better than I feel like South Node eclipses, but in any case, it's still coming up on October 28th. And so because of that, you may find that there's still a little bit of like that last final battle within you, Taurus. And the battle within you is the war with yourself. It truly is. Okay, and I don't feel like it has to do with anybody else around you. This is about the relationship that you have with yourself, and you're allowing yourself to truly receive. Okay, I'll give an example of that. So me as a Taurus, I don't like to receive like gifts of things for, I mean, what am I trying to say? I love to receive gifts. Okay. I love to receive gifts, but say like, it's a gift of money. Okay. I, in my mind, feel that I am indebted to people when they do that. And it's always been a real struggle for me, right? Success has been something that I've struggled with in my life because there was a very deep emotional wound that I had in regards to being successful, because I, as I've been saying to you, Taurus, inherently did not believe that I deserved success. And it was a real struggle. It's been a real struggle in my life to overcome that. And I'm definitely seeing thematically how this applies to my life as well. You know, I mean, I'm a Taurus too. So like, I'm definitely seeing this in my reading for you here. And I don't pick these cards, right? So sometimes the messages aren't for me as a Taurus, and I'm just giving you the message, and sometimes they're also for me. But in any case, so now I'm looking over here at this Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, the Sun card. The Magician, the Page of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and the Sun card. Basically, all 5 of these cards are saying the things that you've been asking for and manifesting, wishing for, hoping for, planting seeds for, start to come to fruition. And I feel like they start to come to fruition in a big way. The sun is shining on these things for you. The sun is shining on these manifestations for you. Could have to do with financial blessings, honestly. Could be a new relationship too with the Two of Cups, all right? Could be a new friend group. But I feel like the entirety of this reading seems to be about the transformation that you had to go through to get this, right? So it starts to come in. This new beginning thing, it's really coming in for you. Like, absolutely, totally seeing that. But there's a last and final battle, I feel, with your ego. Your ego wants to step in, and remember, there's 2 sides of the ego, right? Like, there's the arrogant side of the ego and the I'm not enough side of the ego. And I feel like there's a last and final battle where this comes to fruition for you, and your ego wants to either tell you, no, I feel like it's not even either. I feel like your ego is going to come in and be like, I don't know if I deserve this. I don't know if I'm good enough for this. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. And I'm here to tell you, Taurus, yes, you can. What makes you think that you can't? And who the hell told you that? You know what I mean? And I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up with a step parent, specifically, who would, tell me that I was stupid. And that was really phenomenal, considering the fact that, or really astounding considering the fact that I actually was a straight A student. But this person was projecting their own insecurities onto me. And I grew up as an adult believing that I was stupid for a very long time, until I went to therapy and I worked through a lot of those issues, right? And there was just like this inherent belief within me, little inner child Lolo, that believed what that person said to me, and took it on as part of my self-identification, my self-understanding, right? And I feel like there's a little piece of you that's going to come up when things come to fruition for you in your life. There's a little piece of you that is going to fight against it because of an old version of yourself, an old person in your life, or a past person who projected something onto you, and you took their words and made them your own truth. Or there's just going to be a deep core wound that is going to surface, that's going to make you want to fight against it or retreat against it or not receive it. But ultimately, I do feel like you overcome it. I really do, because you have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups follows his heart. and is open, and it's just emotionally just open. This is definitely the energy of like my heart is ready to open up and receive. And I do feel like it is something that you're going to grasp a hold of. But there will be a period. I feel like there will be a very brief period. I mean, this could only be like a whole day that this happens for you. It could even be a moment. But because of the fact that these cards came out under planetary cycles and seasons, this is a major, pivotal, transformational point in your life, however long it lasts, whether or not it's 5 minutes, a day, 5 days, a week, a month. I doubt it's going to be a whole month. I don't feel that. I feel like it's very brief. I feel like max for a few of you, it will be a week. But there's going to be this just massive shift in you, massive shift in which you decide, you know what? I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to allow this to come in my life, and I'm going to receive. For some of you, it's in a community setting. For some of you, it has to do with receiving some sort of achievement in a community setting, whether it's online or, it's at your job. I'm actually getting like an image of like an event in which there's like an award ceremony. And see, we're not like coming up on graduations, although some people could technically graduate in like this time of year. But usually graduation ceremonies are in May, but it doesn't matter. What I'm kind of getting is I'm getting like a sort of an award ceremony in which there is a recognition of achievements and talents. And, you know how like for some people, there's like a brief moment in which, you look down at this piece of paper, or you just look down and you think to yourself, I don't know how I'm here. I don't know how I got this, right? For some people who are genuinely insecure or have a very deep core wound, they don't know if they deserve what they got, right? It's that imposter syndrome. And that could be it, right? It could be imposter syndrome for you. But there is a brief moment in which you are receiving this achievement, this manifestation, these accolades, this recognition. There is a brief moment where you really question whether or not you've earned it or you deserve it or if you're good enough for it. And you really battle with a deep core wound. But I really want you to take a moment, and I want you to recognize that this was a conditioned wound for you with that Devil card. It could be, like I said, like a little example of my own upbringing. It was conditioning, and I carried that into adulthood, and then I had a choice to continue to carry it. Once I recognized it, I had a choice to address it or to continue to believe what that person said and own it as my truth. Right? So this is conditioning with this Devil card for you. Somebody has conditioned you, whether it's society, community, it's a community that you're in. It could be, any type of community that you're in, whether or not it's like an organization or like it's a church or whatever. Like if there's a community, or a school community, your work community, whatever, or whether or not it's like a conditioned wound that you got from family members, parents, whatever. Either way, this is a very deep core wound that I do feel like is going to be addressed for you. And like I said, it could be very brief, because once it is addressed, once it's drawn into your awareness, you are going to have a moment to shift it. And I do get the sense that the vast majority of you will, because of the fact that I feel like when you take a look at it, which is what I'm recommending to you, when you take a look at it, say to yourself, is this mine Or is this somebody else's? Did somebody else put this in my mind or make me believe this or project this onto me? And is this my truth or is this their truth? Like I said, whether or not it's society, community, family, whatever, is this my truth or is this their truth? And I'm really getting a lot of like deconstructing of your own personality, of your ego, of your identity, like just really deconstructing that so that you can be just wholly who you are. I just keep looking at the lotus. It's like you're deconstructing whatever's in the mud so that you can be the lotus. And being the lotus is giving you the opportunity to embrace this incredible manifestation. You know what I mean? And like with this 9 of Pentacles, more money, right? More money. With the 2 of Cups, love, relationship. But it's like the emotional burdens, 10 of Wands, have the potential to impact this. And you got to 8 of Cups in the Strength card. You got to let it go. You know, you really got to ask yourself, like, what is my truth? And what is the truth of whoever? You know? Wow, I don't even know. That was like the depth of this. I don't know if you feel the depth of this, but I am definitely, as a Taurus, feeling the depth of this reading. And sort of, I think I'm even going to take some time after doing this reading and really reflect on how I stand in my own way by aligning myself with conditioned mindsets, ideas that I've gotten from other people or society, and how I've allowed it to keep me from my own manifestations, like truly. And I feel like that's why you have this clearing and healing elixir, like letting go of the challenges so that you can bloom. Scarab Beetle shares the power of healing, protection, and positive cycles. It's like you're getting the opportunity to move into new positive cycles by releasing the cleansing by releasing the things that, you know, wounded you or broke you, by clearing out the past, cleansing beginnings, clearing all this out so you can embrace the beginnings, like shedding your exoskeleton. Like, this is huge, Taurus. Like, this is a massive shift vibrationally, like truly massive. And when you shift vibrationally like this, you are going to align with the things that you want that match that vibration. And it's huge. Like, it's truly tremendous what I'm feeling from this reading. But I feel like it's almost like it's a little bit of a warning that's coming up here, because it's like this starts to come in for you. Absolutely. But then you have this moment, and like I said, it could be very brief, in which you are going to be requested. The universe is going to request. That's weird. That was a weird word to get. The universe is going to request that you take a moment to really transition this in your life. Embrace the attention, the accolades, the recognition through drawing on your own personal wisdom. And your wisdom is recognizing your experience versus the experiences that you've adopted, the ideas that you've adopted, the beliefs that you've adopted, like recognizing the difference between yours and theirs, and using your wisdom to choose better and do better. And I don't know why I'm getting better. Choose better and do better, or just differently. But it's interesting how better came out, because it's like I'm really getting like, you know better, you do better. That's like what I'm hearing now. Like, you know better, you do better. And so it's like the wisdom that you're gaining, it's basically like the more you know, the better things are going to be for you. The more you know, the more you're opening yourself up to receiving. The more you know, the more you open yourself up to like believing in yourself and your capabilities and not standing in your way anymore. That is going to be the wisdom of your experience, is when you really truly recognize what blocks you. Oh my gosh, like the level of, I don't even know the word to apply to this, because it's not intensity. It's just like deep. Like, it just feels maybe a little bit like enlightenment. Truly. Like, and not like in a braggadocious type of way, more just like a holy crap, like I see everything so differently. And because I know better, and I'm speaking as Taurus, because I know better, I'm gonna do better. And that's that. Wow. Okay, so Taurus, let's look at the areas of your life that this could happen. All right. In your health, which I think we've already like discussed. In your home life. In your capacity to be happy and embrace joy. Like, I mean, obviously I'm getting the sense that like you're going to feel more safe and secure in your home life, like whether or not you're going to move to a new place, or you're just going to really establish a sense of home that feels wonderful to you, and maybe adorn yourself with, you know, nice things because you're feeling more financially secure. Okay. Having, you know, being around friends and community that really bring you joy, a new connection that really brings you joy. Your health is going to be improving significantly, I'm feeling. Okay. Wow. Abundance just came out, and abundance can be in many forms. But again, look at the harvest right here. Look at the harvest. I mean, like I told you, like you're going to be harvesting. These seeds that you have been planting are blooming. They're finally blooming. And look at this good cheer. It's like, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, like it happened. This is a celebration. Like, it's happened. It's finally happened for me. And there's a 9 again, peace. Underneath this safe home, I'm really getting that you're going to be feeling a lot more financially secure and secure within yourself, to embrace being financially secure, to actually allow yourself to receive it. You have sensuality. You could have a sensual connection that's coming in. Or you're just feeling more yourself. You know, you're feeling good in your body. Okay, and you got 2 more. You got success and you got love. Oh, well, love. And you got love. Financial success or success in love. Like a relationship that is successful. And honestly, you could have been wanting a successful relationship, but you didn't have the capacity to receive a successful relationship. Perhaps because you had some very deep core wounds that you were still addressing, that you were still healing. And sometimes that takes time, you know? Especially if you want a truly like authentic connection, something that is, you know, you're both in your truth, you're both honest people, you're both, you know, ready to evolve and grow together. You know, sometimes it takes time and healing in order to attract that kind of connection, you know, with somebody who's in the same vibration where they also want to grow and evolve. I mean, we can easily get in relationships with anybody. I mean, sometimes, I guess it really, I guess, depends, but you know, but then what happens when, you know, you're in a relationship with somebody and you start having these challenges and you're the only person who wants to actually evolve and grow and go to therapy, go to couples counseling and try to work through the problems in the relationship. And then that person doesn't put in any effort to actually evolve and grow on their own. And then it's just like a wasted time on your part, right? And I feel like, so you've gone through some healing cycles, you know, or you're still kind of going through them. You're clearing out a lot, and it's opening you up to a successful love, you know, with, I feel like, a person that there's, you know, a lot of sensuality, a lot of happiness with, a lot of inner peace with, but additionally, you're two authentic people. You know, you're not hiding behind a mask. You're not in self-delusion. You know, you're not running away from yourself. You're both open. And I feel like there could be a period where you're kind of like, you know, for those of you that this is love, where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I've never had anybody love me like this before. And it might scare you a little bit. But ultimately, I do feel like you open up your heart to it. I do. I feel like you just kind of have to address it. You have to look at it. You know, you have to be aware and really draw on that wisdom, you know? This was a beautiful reading. I don't know if it was for you, but it definitely was for me. And I love you guys. Like, I love you, Taurus, so much. Like, my Taurus fam, I freaking love you. If you're looking for a personal session with me, you can book in the description box down below. I have linked my scheduler. And additionally, you can find me on Instagram. I do live readings on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, although I'll be out of town this weekend, at 6:30 Central Time. And please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps me grow my channel. I love y'all so much, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye for now.